Yeah, I think it's 5 years old. That's so crazy. I really thought it was younger.
For
Did
losing
your guys'
teeth?
parents? Yeah. Did you do the tooth fairy?
Of course.
Of course. Did you just put it under your pillow?
I don't
Yeah,
really
did you?
remember. I think I put it either beside my bed or under my pillow. I don't remember.
It would actually be smart as a parent to be like, put your tooth in this little basket and she'll come and give you, instead of like,
Yeah,
the
like
under the
not
pillow
where I
thing.
need to reach under you.
Yeah.
And potentially wake you up.
I think
Yeah.
we had like a little pillow that had like a pocket on it, and it like hung on our door, and it said
Oh, that's
something.
cute.
That is cute.
Some new age
don't
tooth
fully
fairy
remember.
shit that we didn't get.
Yeah.
Well, the tooth fairy's paying more these days. That's the issue. Is like
Well,
some parents are
inflation.
like, you get $10 for this tooth.
What the fuck?
Honestly, I used to get like, I remember one year I got grips, which is what you wear on your hands for bars on gymnastics. Like, and those were probably $40. I needed them, but I was like, oh, I lost a tooth. I want grips. And I think at this point I knew my
So
dad
you
was
get
doing
just
it, you know.
presents?
So, yeah, I would, but it would be things that I needed or whatever. But yeah, I would be like, or maybe he like gave me money to buy grips or something, but it was because I lost a tooth, you know? So I don't know.
That's so funny though, like thinking of the kids going to school and being like, the tooth fairy got me $40.
I know.
You know what?
I was definitely that kid.
Was it your sister that was saying that like Santa Claus isn't supposed to bring like the really nice gifts? Like
I think my sister
Because
says
she
that.
wants the credit.
no,
Yeah,
because like then Santa Claus, like for kids that just don't have as much, or maybe they're not getting like the most amazing things from Santa, it's not because Santa like hates you. It's just Santa doesn't give everyone the same gift. So I wonder if like people are like that with the tooth fairy, where it's like, okay, you can't get like $100 for each tooth because
Yeah.
same thing.
And
Yeah,
my dad's
literally.
not like that. My dad doesn't let Santa have the credit for the best gifts, though. He takes the credit.
That's
Like
okay.
Santa
I
brought you
remember.
some silly shit, but I got you.
We would
Santa-
always get a Santa sack. Like we'd each get a giant bag, and then in that bag there would be presents, and the presents in the bag were from Santa.
That's cute.
Yeah, we would only have like one present from Santa, and he would do like the stocking.
That's what Santa does
Oh.
now for me, but he just does a
I
few
like
things in
that.
stocking.
Yeah.
That's a cool way of doing it. Were your guys' dads good at giving your mom? Like, did they fill your mom's stocking, or did your mom have to do her own?
I don't remember.
I have no memory of that, but Bobby was an asshole about Christmas. Like one year he got her a Tiffany's box, wrapped it, and then inside he put a note that said, "Not this year."
Shut the
What a
fuck
piece of shit.
up.
And he thought it was fun. It's still like he used to do shit like that, and then he would like buy her a lot of things that he wanted her to have, kind of thing.
Oh.
I am. What
But
did
then
she,
some
what was her
years he would do
reaction?
really great. Oh, she was like, "You're an asshole." Like, I mean, we still talk about it, but
That is
obviously we know
so
Bobby's
shitty.
what are you gonna do?
Oh my god, that's like so genuinely mean. But he's like, oh, next year I'll
I
make
think
up for
he
it though, and
ended
then
up
does really good
like.
one.
I still think he got her like a nice purse or something that year, so it's not like he was like,
But
He just
still.
likes
"Here's
the
some
pranks.
cobwebs." He was like, "Okay, here's a Prada bag instead," but he still wanted to fuck with her.
Yeah. Damn. That's brutal.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But I sadly don't know how my parents got each other Christmas gifts. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
you guess you didn't have much time to remember that.
I like
No.
definitely didn't I didn't care about anyone else's gifts on Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when I was
I
5,
don't know
I'm like,
what anyone else got ever. Like it was just me and like what's my next present kind of
Really?
thing.
Wait, did you take turns opening, or like you and your siblings would all open at the same time?
Yeah, we would take turns, but like it's still like not focused on anyone
Still, you're
else.
just sitting there focused
with
on when you're
because
gonna
you
open yours.
have 2 other sisters close in your age where you're like, oh, that gift is also mine.
Oh,
that
no,
mentality.
No. You guys, did I tell you when I was younger, I installed my own lock on my door
Yes.
so that my
Oh.
sisters couldn't come in my room because I was psycho about my own things.
That's funny. That's like youngest child mentality.
No, I think it's oldest child. Like don't
Well,
talk to
that's
me
how
shit.
Logan was. But for me, as the
Really?
oldest child, I was like, everything that is mine is yours. Everything that's yours is mine. Like, Me and Lexi always shared everything. And then on Lexi's birthdays and stuff, I would be excited about all the things she got, including clothes, because I'd be like, oh, I can wear that. Oh, I can't wait to wear that. I can't wait to use that.
Funny.
And we were like, she probably let me use her
funny.
stuff more than I let her use my stuff, though, because she was the baby that wanted to please me, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never thought about that because my siblings are so much older. It was like very
Yeah.
clear whose gifts were whose. Like, you
Yeah.
weren't like, oh,
That
I
is
want
funny.
that.
Yeah, your sister's like, I don't really care about your dollhouse.
Yeah, no, literally.
You like to play with my Polly Pocket. She's like, I didn't want to, but okay.
I'm good actually, thanks. That's so funny. And we'd get like one collective family present, like a Wii or something,
Oh, yeah.
or like a board game
Yeah,
or something.
Days. I hated when Christmas started going from like, you know, as a kid, you'd get that one gift that once you're done opening, you get to play with, like whether it's a
Mhm.
bike or roller skates or a video game or whatever. And then like as you get older, it's kind of like, okay, presents are done. I just got a bunch of clothes and stuff. Now what?
Yeah.
Like, what
Mhm.
do you do?
I feel like
It's
it turned
it's
to
not fun anymore.
technology. Like it then turned to like, oh, my iPod or like
Yeah, now I
this
have to
phone
set
or
like,
whatever.
oh my God, Paige would get a new fucking iPhone or something or a new watch or something and would proceed to spend the next 5 hours trying to set it up. And me and Lexi would be like, what the fuck, bitch? I want to play. Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing? And she would like literally just, she gets very quiet and just very focused on her shit. And we're just like, dude, do this later. Like,
Yeah. Do this when you go home.
That's
yeah.
so funny.
every
Well,
fucking
we should
year.
probably do the intro.
Yeah, we should
Welcome
probably
back.
stop talking about Christmas.
I know it's March. But I just love
300
Christmas.
more days.
We literally were out the other day in downtown, and it was like not snowy, but it was like the lights, the twinkly lights were out on like the flagpoles and stuff, and we were like, I love Christmas. Like, it kind of feels like Christmas right now.
Christmas vibes.
Christmas in March. Well, welcome back to another episode of So Glad We're Friends. I'm Maggie.
I'm Devin.
I'm Brittany.
Are you excited for your birthday?
Yeah. I feel like it's
Pisces season.
I definitely think that all of the like reno stuff, I'm like, it doesn't even feel like my birthday. We kind of celebrated this past weekend.
What'd you do?
Because I was staying at my friend's place in Denver. Because our house was like getting the popcorn ceilings removed and painted and everything. And so we kind of just did it as like a little staycation. And we went to a happy hour and then we went out to like a sushi place. And there's like this new app in Denver called In Kind. And it gives you a bunch of like promos. So you can like, get like $25 off of like 50. And we had that for like 2 different restaurants we went to. So
That's cool.
that was really nice in addition to like the happy hour. And then we just like went out and went to a bar on Saturday. And like watched, I don't even know if there was like anything specific, but like a lot of people were celebrating St. Patty's Day and we just kind of like hung out and chilled. So it was nice. It was like fun to kind of have a staycation in Denver and be able to explore like downtown more easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. That sounds like a cool app. Did like who made the app?
I don't know. It's me and Joe are still like kind of like baffled by it because we're like, how are these people like making money? Like where I don't know. I don't really get it. So
Here they do like certain like months of that, like in October and I think April or something, like where different restaurants have different deals like that.
Yeah.
And it's like on a website thing.
That's so interesting. It's like different than a restaurant week though, because it's kind of like all the time. Like, and
Yeah,
I guess you
that's
can
what's
get
weird.
like credit for stuff. Like if you buy certain things, you can get like 20% back. I don't know. I don't really get it fully, but
Maybe the restaurant are just doing it like for the promo.
yeah, I don't know. I'm very perplexed because it just doesn't seem like it's like I don't understand how the app is making money and the restaurants are making money with like all of the things. But
Yeah.
I don't really ask questions. I'm just like, okay, let's do this.
So one of the
But-
places you went was where you want to take us. You found a new place.
Oh yes, I found a new like Japanese place. It was so fun. It was just like part of it was like a bar and just like moody and kind of vibey, and then the other part's like the restaurant. This is where we made like the entire bar like move down because
Oh my god, yeah, we posted this on our Instagram story if you missed it. Yeah, tell the story.
well, we were like sitting at the end of the bar and then there was like only one seat for me and like not for Joe, and we were like waiting, you know, like kind of scouting out and like waiting for people to get up. and a lot of the people that were at the bar just sat down. And then like there was 2 seats that opened up, and like 2 other people sniped them because it was like on the opposite side of the bar, and we were like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And then 1 or 2 people got up, and so there was like, I think it was maybe, I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 spots. I think it was only 1 spot because we like had to have everyone shift. There was a big party, so it wasn't like horrible. So Joe like asked the couple at the end to move, and then the people next to us were like, hey, like are you guys with like most of these people? And they were like, yeah. And we're like, could you guys just move over like 1 seat? And then like the entire bar, like it was like 10 people just shifted 1 over so we could like sit down together. But
get shit done.
Yeah. So I was like,
it was fun.
It was fun. Like the bar was fun. Like it was just like a really fun time. We were like good and drunk, and
we probably would have talked shit about you like the whole night. Like, damn, can you believe those people actually told us to
I
move?
don't think I would.
I feel like
the big group is helpful for sure. Like if they were mostly in a big group, that makes a huge difference than if it was like 6 couples.
Oh my God, I know. That would have been a little aggressive. But I feel like when you're sitting at the bar, like a lot of people are kind of like in the same mindset of like, yeah, we like get it. Like, let's just move down a seat. Like we've done that so many times where we're like, oh, you guys want to sit together like here? Like let's just shift over 1 seat so that you guys can like, you know.
And sitting at the bar, you're more like talkative and stuff and going to talk to strangers than at a table.
Yeah. So that was kind of fun. It was like impromptu. Like we hadn't really planned like, oh, okay, we're going to like go and celebrate my birthday. But we were like, okay, we're in Denver. Like we might as well use it to like our advantage. And
well, it's hard when your birthday's in the middle of the week. It's like, okay, which weekend do I want to celebrate, or do I just do both?
Yeah, I'll do a little bit.
I do both. Yeah.
It was just like nice that it was downtown, and I got to do, because I love going downtown Denver, but it's just like kind of inconvenient. So it was nice. We could just like, we walked to the bars and like restaurants and stuff and walked home, and we didn't have to worry about like Ubering and
that's so nice.
All of that stuff. Even just like the dog, like, you know, waiting. Like, because it's, you know, between 20 and like 40 minutes home. So it's kind of like we have to add on like an extra hour and a half to make sure that she's fine. But
yeah, that's the hard part.
It was really fun.
That's super, super fun. We drank 2 days this weekend too, and I'm like, wow. I had 2 ciders both nights. No, I had 3 ciders the second night, and we did take a shot before we left the house. Actually.
Is that like, does that get you a buzz? A
cider? Yeah, it's like wine. Like,
I guess I can't ever drink enough of that because it's so sugary that I just am not like, I don't get a buzz.
That's how I used to feel like about one. Like I'd be like, oh, I don't want to just have 1 glass of wine or just 1 cider or whatever, because what's the point of just 1 drink? But now I like really do not feel that way at all. Like 1 drink, like I definitely feel something.
Yeah.
Like, for sure. And usually the ciders are like tall cans.
Well, also just like not drinking as much too. I feel like it's just easy to like feel something like quickly.
Yeah, exactly. It's just easier to. Yeah,
I didn't even drink on Saturday because I was like fine, really? But I was like recovering for sure. You know.
Well, that's good. So you still had a fun time not drinking at all.
Yeah. I had so much fun.
That's always
reassuring. It was like beautiful and sunny, and it was just a great time.
One of these days, I'm going to learn how to have fun without drinking. But
I know. Well, it's hard like in these circumstances. Well, like
I can't. Like the reason I don't really drink as much is because my stomach like literally won't let me. Like it.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't even function the next day. So it really prohibits me from like going too much, versus like if I didn't, I would probably be just like the same. I would just be like drinking all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do feel a little guilty about drinking. So
I don't think you should.
I think it's just like the guilt.
Like just drinking like on the weekdays, or just like.
No, anytime. Like it's just like, oh, it's sad that I have to drink to have fun or whatever, you know.
Did you see I think it was Hallie talking on TikTok about going sober, and she was saying like a huge part was feeling like she didn't have a personality without drinking and stuff, and then just like doing it a few times and realizing like, oh, I can talk to people when I'm sober, and like I do have a personality without it.
I wonder how long like the paint smell lasts. Do you remember the last time you
like
painted?
a couple weeks, because my bathroom smelled like new bathroom for like a couple weeks for sure.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah. I like it. I like the smell of like new fresh house. Yeah. Like the new wood, the new paint. Like, I don't know. It just smells good to me.
I feel like it's very overwhelming just because it's a lot of paint. But
yeah.
It feels, I cannot believe the difference.
I know. It's so funny. Us millennials, I think, just love a white, bright paint.
Oh my God.
Because growing up, everything was like fucking brown or red or yellow. And it's like now I see people like painting, like how Kylie Kadich painted something red. And I was just like, I just can't. It just reminds me of like kitchens in the early 2000s. Like I just can't do it.
Oh my God. You're so in living rooms. Yeah. Like that cranberry color was everywhere.
Yes. Yeah.
That's so true. I know. I'm really trying to like make sure I don't go to millennial core. I'm trying to like stick to European, like different things. So I need help.
I think you'll be fine. Just don't get any signage or
can you hear
too many gold things.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm sending this picture that my mom sent of my grandma yesterday of our house, and you can see the orange and yellow of Olive Garden in the background.
Yeah. That wall color was like every single wall. It was it's like a yellow, creamy yellow brown.
Like my dad
and that was the color of every wall.
That's
like
so
it's been
funny.
this way my whole life.
Yeah.
Was this your dad's house?
Yeah, like where I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And like it still looks, the clock's still there, that cabinet thing's still there. It looks exactly the same.
That's so funny.
Should we dive into our topic?
Yes, we should. So today we're going to be reading influencer like assumptions and hot takes that people have from Reddit, and then we're going to kind of give like our own thoughts on them from our experiences being influencers, knowing influencers, working with influencers, and see if we think that we agree with them or not. So we could take turns reading them if you would like.
Mm-hmm.
Who would like to start? Would you like me to start?
Yeah,
do it.
Because I'm trying to find the thing.
Okay. Influencers have to be at least a little narcissistic. I mean, these influencers and vloggers are the epitome of narcissism. Their posts scream, look at me, look what I'm doing, look what I'm wearing. It's like they've forgotten there's a world beyond their perfect little bubble.
I'm not going to doubt that some influencers are probably narcissists or like that they want attention.
Mm-hmm.
People comment on my shit and tell me that I'm a narcissist. And it's like more like, I think the problem is a lot of people want validation more than like just to be seen. They want to be validated. So when they get on and complain about something, it's because they want their followers to like reassure them and validate them or whatever. That's a big thing. Also, it's just like a creative outlet to put your creativity out there, and people who actually care about it can come to you and see it and enjoy it. Whereas like, I don't know, sometimes you want to talk to your family about things or show them stuff, but like they're actually not really into it or something. So like being able to put it on social media, then people can.
I feel like a big part is also not even just like validation, but like also just having people to relate to, like knowing that you're not like the only one that thinks this or like feels this way. And I think
social media has really become a lot about that.
Yeah. But I also think too, it kind of comes down to those influencers that, or even creators that like really have a bigger purpose and like drive behind their creating content. I think it's sometimes really clear, like maybe some of these people that they're talking about, they're like, look at me, look at what I'm doing. Like maybe they haven't sat down and like refocused, like, why am I creating content? Like, why do people give a fuck? Like, what is my reason for doing this? Because I think like some of the influencers that have like a really clear mission or like identity like within their page, it really comes through in their content. But it can be, if someone's like really in it just for themselves and like fame, like quick fame almost, then I think it's kind of more obvious.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I would
think it
say
also
this
has to
person
do-
probably thinks that like actors are also narcissists because
Yeah, yeah. Like I think they're saying it more of like when you rewatch yourself a bunch of times, or like you're filming yourself and you enjoy like looking at yourself or hearing your voice and things like that. And I think that, well, it's different for every person, first of all. But like I enjoy rewatching things that's like memories more. Like if it's a video that I made of like either that's good edited, like I like rewatching my editing. I like that. Or
Yeah.
like if it's like with friends or the dogs or Cameron or something where it's like a cute video or like a memory
Yeah.
sort of thing. If it's like literally me talking to the camera, I like absolutely will not rewatch
Same.
that. Like I do not just go back and rewatch my videos just speaking to the camera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. I
Like,
mean,
that's
I'll start
horrible.
them over and over, but like or I'll watch it to make sure I didn't say something or I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not rewatching my fucking vlogs over and over again if I don't have to.
Mm-hmm. Or even the podcast. Like I like hearing
Oh
you
my
guys
God,
talk, but I
no.
don't like hearing me re-talk.
Like skip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Confession.
don't listen to these episodes.
I worked with YouTube influencers in my last job with an agency that paired sponsors with these celebrities. I basically did the grunt work, like ensuring hotel, plane tickets, getting coffee, running errands, and meeting with the talent to ensure they were where they needed to be, etc. Events, conferences, trade shows, parties, or whatever. Over time, you make friends with others who are in those positions, especially when you're running errands for some entitled pseudo celebrity. The nicest YouTubers were the animators. Always calm and understanding. The worst were the family vloggers. I've met all the big ones, and I never met one that wasn't a completely different person off camera. The kids were always spoiled, and no one disciplines them, so they're running around breaking things or acting like idiots, and no one can yell at them lest their influencer parents find out. Close second is makeup YouTubers. That's interesting. I wonder
I thought that was very interesting, like the types of people.
if she started in like the YouTube space, like when YouTube creators were like bigger than like Instagram and everything, or if this is like current day or like recent.
That is a great question.
Because I feel like
One,
probably older.
I really didn't grow up like watching that much YouTube, so you'd have to like
me either.
be the expert on this, but like it seems from like what you say, Maggie, that like a lot of YouTubers were kind of considered pseudo celebrities. Like a lot of people in general considered YouTubers like,
well, like Jenna Marbles, that was
Yeah.
one of, and I wasn't even that into YouTube, and I knew who Jenna Marbles was. I
Same.
liked her. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, or like they'd be in like commercials and stuff on TV.
Yeah. So, I mean,
That's interesting though that the family vloggers were the worst. Like it's almost like you would hope that the family vloggers would be the most true to themselves and like the most down to earth people. Like that's crazy that they're the worst.
yeah. I wonder how like if she or he like ended up working with like Instagram or TikTok influencers, like what the comparison would be like.
That is
Yeah.
interesting. I'm sure either way, the people who feel that you're better because you're famous in some way probably
Yeah.
feel that in any circumstance. Like if you're on YouTube or TikTok,
Yeah.
that's more like a personality trait, probably.
I think in those circumstances though, like whoever's helping you do all of those things, and like, you know, anybody at the hotels, restaurants, everything like that, you have to go above and beyond in your gratitude and like how you're treating people. Like it's not enough to just say like thank you, like making sure you're following
especially
up,
as a
making
woman.
sure you're like, I don't even think it's women or non-women. I think it's just like if you are in that position where you're like getting a lot of things given to you and all of that stuff, like it's so important to go above and beyond and like show your appreciation and gratitude for like all of
That's
those people.
interesting too, because I feel like real celebrities, do they cover that like in media training sort of thing of like Harry Styles? People talk about him if he goes into an interview room, like he introduces himself to every single person, like every assistant, everybody working behind a camera or something, and like people always talk about how they like that. But I feel like that's maybe something they teach celebrities more, and then these influencers are going into it and like just don't know
I think
manners. Like,
to me that's second nature. That's how I act.
but
like,
is that our parents maybe like just
I
being
think
raised
so.
that way, like
Yeah.
having manners?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just like the bare minimum of like
I mean,
know.
yeah, it is too, but that's how I was raised. Like,
Yeah, that's true. But I think it would be so much more beneficial if there was more like influencers that were making sure that they did that and not acting
For
like,
sure.
I don't know. Just even hearing some of the discourse online about like, oh, like some influencers talking down to other influencers because they have less followers. You're like, okay, if you're doing that to another influencer, like what are you doing to people like serving you and like
Did you see
helping
that girl? She posted a video like last week or something about, she didn't say what influencer it was, but she has like 100K or something. The girl does, who was posting this, and she said she went to this like influencer dinner thing.
Didn't
and the
I
girl
send
was
that to
like,
you?
Yeah.
oh, did you?
Yeah.
Of course. I was like the photographer that Brittany sent.
Oh yeah, she said she was a photographer. Yeah, and the girl's like, what do you do? Like all acting like she's not as good because she has less followers and stuff. But that was very motivating because she was straight up, I don't remember if it was her or a different girl, maybe you sent a different one, but there was another girl who was like, why should I be treated as any less because I have less followers? Like I'm also making the same content, I'm also on all these same trips, I'm having the same experiences and everything because I make the same things that this person does. Like just because less people follow me, why am I less, literally mean less? Like that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of crazy that like influencers are acting like that at all.
I know, because then it makes like the smaller creators actually feel like they should be insecure about it.
Yeah. But
like
also
it's
like
giving us reason to be like, oh yeah, we aren't as good.
But also like, isn't it so, I would think it's so cool to get to know somebody that's like not in your circle of people, like, you know, because obviously there's so many people that like probably at the dinner, like you are like besties with a couple influencers like of your same size, or like where you guys started at the same time or whatever. And like they put a new person in front of you and you're like, oh, like get curious, like ask questions, like, oh, like what do you do? Like how, you know, tell me your story kind of thing. Like how sick would it be to know like you have a photographer, someone who's modeled for Vogue, like whatever, like all of this stuff. Like that seems like it would be so much cooler to meet those people versus just
for sure
everybody in your same circle.
Even just having dynamic like friendships, like, oh, I have a friend who's a lawyer, I have a friend who's a doctor, I have a friend who like does all these different things. You know, people in different categories rather than like I'm only friends with influencers.
Yeah, actually it was so interesting in pickleball this weekend. I got to play with a girl that I had played with last week, and then like we all started talking about what we do for a living. And the girl that I played with last week also is a probation officer. And we were just like, it's so cool to get to know people who do such different jobs, because usually your circle, you are only with people that do similar things to you. So yeah, and she was just like talking about her job and stuff, and it's like,
how cool.
Wow, that's so cool. Yeah.
That would be
Very
such
interesting.
Interesting job.
Yeah.
Was she the one that you connected more with the last time?
Yeah.
Cool.
The extrovert. But then
That's
I was
exciting.
with two extroverts today last week, and so we stayed like an hour longer talking.
Wow.
And we were talking about maybe getting pizza or something after the next time.
Did you
or
get any
something, which would be
numbers
cool.
or anything?
We added each other on Instagram.
Ooh, that's big.
So, yeah.
Okay, when you add them on Instagram, did you use your
Should we get-
personal Instagram or your Instagram?
I used my personal.
Yeah. Let's talk more about that Patreon. I want to hear all the details.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brittany's pushing us along.
Go to the next fucking one.
Because we spent like 5 minutes figuring out where the fuck Maggie was.
Like that.
Influencers and vloggers are masters of illusion, curating their lives to look picture perfect. They post the highlight reels, creating unrealistic expectations for their followers. In reality, their lives are just as messy as yours or mine, but they'd never admit it. You're following the wrong people if they're not admitting it. Because I think the best influencers are constantly telling you and reaffirming, even though you still sometimes don't believe it. But they're not trying to hide it, I don't think. Back in the day, for sure, but now, no.
I still think there's a whole group of influencers, like the aesthetic people, like they are curating their like picture perfect, beautiful lives. But there's so many other influencers that are sharing all the shit.
It is also though, like it can never be 100% accurate. Like if I was filming myself walking to my car and setting down the tripod, going to walk to the car, setting it down again, going to close the door, like you're then taking more steps that you wouldn't normally take. So even though I would normally get in the car, it's still fake in a way, but that's also just using your common sense of like, obviously she had to set up this phone to record herself getting out of bed.
That's what it's your fault. You don't have the wherewithal. Like if you don't realize that, then that's your problem. It's not the creator's problem. Because at the end of the day, we are creating content. We are making a story for you to enjoy. We're not like, Big Brother.
Otherwise, it would be behind the scenes, which a lot of people do, moving the tripod there and whatnot.
I was going to say, I feel like a lot of that content lately has been popping off. Like this girl, Kaylee May, who like I think is one of those like OG aesthetic, like cleaning, restocking type creators. She's been doing a few more that are like what I don't show you or like what's edited out. And those do like really well and people like love them.
I love those ones.
That's how you evolve because people are starting to get sick of the perfect restocking, cleaning, whatever that she does. So she's like, okay, how do I relate to people that like that's what they're looking for? So, because honestly, her content would annoy me because I was like, whatever, this is too perfect, and it just makes me feel bad about myself.
Yeah, and saying things several times. Like I love when people post the outtakes of them just trying to like start a vlog. Like that's not real too in a way because you have to say it so many times.
Yeah, I should post when I'm like recording. I will just like go blank and be like, I don't know what to say. I'll just sit there for like 3 minutes and then be like, like.
Fuck this. Try again tomorrow.
I just go silent.
I could never be Gabby Windy with her just like stream of consciousness. Like she just talks. Have you ever listened to her podcast? She just is. It's a constant stream of consciousness. Just talking. She doesn't freaking take a breath. And
I feel like it probably has to do with not re-listening or like not caring. Like she's probably not socially anxious in that way.
But also, I just think that's how her brain works. Like my brain doesn't work like that. Like I can't just think out loud.
Yeah, true. I've been doing for my membership, we were doing like live meetups and stuff, but it just wasn't working with like recording times of everyone doing it. So I've just been doing it on my own, and it's like basically a solo podcast. And I'm like recording for like 50 minutes, and I'm like, oh, I've been talking for 50 minutes just on my own.
Oh my god, that is insane.
It'd be easy to edit. Like if I did a YouTube video like that, then I just wouldn't have to.
Yeah, no, I literally like barely edit it. Like I did one of me cleaning the house, and I just moved the camera all around talking.
I like
it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Okay. These so-called influencers, in quotes, have thousands, even millions of followers, but how many genuine connections can one person really have? They don't give a rat's ass about their fans, only the numbers that boost their ego and their bank accounts. I understand of like obviously you can't be best friends with 1 million people if you have 1 million followers. However, I think a huge thing that hit me when I started getting followers was like, oh my god, each one of these girls is like so much like me. Like, oh my god, they relate to this that I've been feeling for years. They relate to this that I've been feeling for years. And then it does feel like I'm connected to them. And you see the same people pop up all the time. Like maybe that doesn't happen when you have 1 million followers, but like for me that happens where I know the people who talk to me all the time. Like I know about their lives, and I know, I don't know, like you do have like a connection with them even if you're not best friends.
You're building a community of people that like they have seen all of your other content, and so they understand. They can reference other things that's happened, and it's like you have this camaraderie with those people who just get you and then comment and like it's a parasocial relationship, but it doesn't mean that people don't give a fuck about it. I mean, maybe bigger people. I'm sure there are for like some people, narcissistic creators that really don't give a fuck, but like the engagement, the commenting, the messaging, the chatting, that is the most important part of this whole thing.
Yeah, so that's like the most fun part, and it's never like I never think like, oh, I got so many comments on this of like, oh, my engagement was so high. It's like, oh, people really connected with this, or like people are really agreeing. Like, or I say all the time, a lot of the time that like when something's more meaningful, I get way more DMs and less comments because they're like personally sharing things. Yeah. But that is also like really connecting.
Yeah, I love that.
Do all influencers send in their own questions to the question boxes they post? It seems so obvious when I see it. So why would they? Yeah,
Yes,
they do.
I think, just a lot of the times it's because there's either something that like you need to talk about or you want to answer, or like if it's a product that you need to share a link to, or something where you're like wanting to send it in so that way you can talk about that thing because just simply nobody did.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the times when you're starting out,
Yeah.
you literally have to, like, you don't get them.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
The herd mentality is real. So like when you're first starting, you will send the type of questions that you want your followers to ask. So if you responded to a question that was like, would you rather eat peanut butter forever or jelly forever? Like if you want your audience to send silly questions like that, you kind of have to like show them like.
I think it's the same thing with the podcast and like taking Reddit. It's like showing our listeners the types of stories or advice that we want to get from them. And then usually when we do that, like we get more juicy ones or like more what we want to hear.
Yeah, I think we've trained you guys well because you send in really good stories now.
Yeah.
Was it my turn? Is it Dev's turn?
It's your turn. I think that influencers take away from people who are actually talented. Don't even get me started on how they're overshadowing genuinely talented artists, creatives, and experts in their field. It's all about who has the bigger following, not who has the most skill or knowledge. I saw this one in the thing yesterday, and this one got me heated.
Why?
Because it's
she's
like
talented.
First of all, it's like that's your guys' fucking fault, because that frustrates me too, that a girl lip syncing that's who's really pretty gets millions of likes just because she's pretty. But like that's literally because that's what people are reacting to. That's what people are saving, sharing, watching over and over and over again. And so whose fault is it that like the creative masterminds are not as popular as the pretty girls?
I also think
everybody that's on social media, like the people watching.
But also at the same time, like within social media, I think that there's entertainers which are always going to get more engagement and bigger reach and everything. And then creative people that are like, and sometimes there's like people are a mix of both, but there are a lot of creatives on social media. And I think that there are so many people that use it to their advantage. And it doesn't mean like there's a lot of creatives that don't have very many followers, but because like of the algorithm of like whoever's trying to scout people, they get discovered. And I think that's so fucking cool that like a potter person can like throw pottery and make a living because they just share it online and they're selling their pieces for thousands and thousands of dollars, versus like if they were just to do that like by themselves in their own shop, like they might not be able to make a living just like purely off of that. So it doesn't necessarily like, I think they're still really successful. It's just vanity wise, like followers, views, and engagement, they might not be the same level of success that people
because
like entertainers are
care about. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Amy Poehler has a new podcast that I just sent them. It came out today. And Tina Fey was on it, and she was telling a story how she went on a late night talk show, and I think Steve Martin was like, you have to hit every single time. Every talk show you go on, every show you do, it has to hit every single time because you're a comedian. And she was saying for like the pretty actress girls, like you just need to go out there and look pretty and tell a cute story and it'll hit that way. But like with comedians, you have to be funny every single time. And I think it's kind of like that of what you're saying of like, okay, yeah, if you're a pretty girl and you're just going to go lip sync, you don't have to really hit every single time because, I don't know, all those boys or whoever's sharing it and saving it are going to be sharing and saving it. But like when you're a creative and you're like really making more creative content like that, it does kind of have to be good every single time. It has to hit every single time for people to really be sharing it. So it's just harder overall to grow, I think. But it does exist. Those accounts that you found of like a few months ago were so good.
Oh, yeah.
Those like really edited one.
And the thing is, if you actually stop and support that video, the creative video, the algorithm will share more and more and more of that video to you. So like it's your fault if it's all of our faults as society that the pretty girl is more successful. I mean, OnlyFans creators make 100 times more than regular content creators. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
just the fact of life, unfortunately.
Damn, yeah, that's so true. Well, one of my childhood best friends became a very big influencer to the point where people recognize me in public as his friend. This is super hard for me because I did not sign up for this, yet I constantly have to deal with it. We discussed this, and he stopped including me in his vlogs. I'm only featured in a photo every now and then. However, he's still recording everything and is incredibly annoying. Am I allowed to even tell him when he shouldn't do his job while we're hanging out? What is content versus a real friendship? Can we establish boundaries, or should I just kick him out of my life like I'm feeling I need to?
Definitely talk to someone before just kicking them out of your life, because that would be very confusing. Like,
oh, for sure, don't ghost him.
Like, have a discussion about how you feel and the boundaries that you want to set in a friendship. Like, when we're hanging out, I don't want you to be thinking about content. Like,
yeah.
And then see how the person reacts.
Yeah, this is really weird because I feel like it always, like, growing up and stuff, for me, it'd be like, oh, if we're out to dinner or something, like, you're not on your phone. And I think that that's why I have a harder time when we are on a trip or when I'm out with friends or something, actually vlogging it and stuff, because for me, I'm like, I shouldn't be on my phone right now. Like, I'm in a social setting. But yeah, I think that's hard with boundaries with friends and family. I feel like I ask people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also, this is like a two-part thing where it's like, it'd be one thing if he was being included in stuff and like wasn't being recognized, but it's like disrupting his like everyday life, you know? Like if he's getting stopped and everything, like that's like a whole different level of like of a conversation that I think just has to be had, that it's like, this happens to me a lot and it's like making me uncomfortable. I would love to spend,
they talked
like,
about that
time.
of where he stopped filming,
but like just the recording everything, like, you know, that impacts
I would
their
be
friendship.
like, this time is like special to me to hang out with you for our friendship, and like it kind of feels like it takes away from that when you're recording for social media.
I think that's perfect.
Or just be like, this is fucking annoying that you're always recording, so can you not?
Yeah, like, can we schedule time away from that? And then, like, if you want to do activities that you need to blog, like, tell me that in advance. Maybe, like, oh, we're going to do this thing because it's free content versus, like, I want to go hang out with you.
I can't imagine literally needing to record every piece of my life. Like,
no, and that's what's so crazy about the old, like, daily vlogging channels, like, where they literally would daily vlog every single day. It would be so crazy.
If we think influencers are toxic, it's our job to make the right ones famous. We need to encourage a different kind of influencer. For some reason, we've settled with toxic instead of focusing on filling a void. There are very positive messages and educational ways influencers can enhance culture, and they need to continue to spur growth and hopefully someday drown out the superficial or damaging. I feel like we just talked about this, where it's like, it is our like job to do that. Like, and it's important if you're like looking up a bunch of like gossip things or, you know, whatever toxic means to you, that you're not like engaging with it and giving it attention.
There's so many educational influencers.
Didn't we talk about, someone was saying like, you can control the content you see? Like, someone was saying, I'm sick of always seeing this type of content or whatever. It's like, then don't fucking watch it. Don't comment on it. Don't engage with it. Like,
don't share it.
Literally the reason you keep seeing it is because you're talking about it.
You can also restart your algorithm, like on TikTok, like delete all the cookies or whatever. So like maybe if you're experiencing that, start over and be like, okay, this time I'm not going to interact with any of that. I'm going to curate my food page.
But there are also just so many shitty people in the world. It's not going to be like, not everybody is going to change the culture. Like,
yeah. Okay, this one's a little long. Confession. I was best friends with an influencer and it was awful. One of my best friends fell real hard into Instagram, and for a few years it was tolerable and understandable, a little annoying and strange. Everything needed to be documented in specific ways, so lots and lots of photos, even if it took away from the moment. But the strange part was how when we'd share things, the captions always told a slightly different story than what actually happened. Like, just off enough for me and my other friends to say, huh, that has a weird quality to it. Fast forward a couple years and she gets engaged. Boom. This was the catalyst for the worst of the influencer mentality to come out. I was in the bridal party and it was a nightmare. No gratitude, just demands. Demands for expensive trips and expensive parties and all the kinds of things that were above and beyond the means of her closest friends. And all the demands were because she had a following and had certain expectations to meet. It was really heart-wrenching to witness someone belittle their best friend and maid of honor for trying to plan a sweet bridal shower because it wasn't going to be in an expensive restaurant or art gallery. It reached its peak for me when after the in-state wedding became an expensive destination wedding, there was a demand for an out-of-town bachelorette party a few weeks before. I was honest and said I couldn't afford the bachelorette. Mind you, I made about 1,000 sacrifices over those months to afford what I could. And I was promptly bridezillaed and told that I ruined the whole experience and that I was an awful, fake, inauthentic person. It got so bad that the bridal party fractured and disintegrated, and she lost 2 of her best friends. Myself and the maid of honor didn't even attend the wedding after her behavior and blow-ups, and we've all barely spoken since. Also, that she could have an Instagrammable wedding that would look good for a few photos, she ended up sharing of it. And true to the weird, strange, rewritten reality ways that she had, she also published a public apology on her blog to her followers and family that completely distorted and rewrote what happened, painting herself as the victim, and got the sympathy point she was looking for. People really lose themselves when they create an artifice for social media. I learned a lot from her. That crazy.
Sucks.
Ugh, that's the bad thing about like the follower validation is that you can just, say your side and then thousands of people will validate you for your feelings.
Mm-hmm. I also think it's just like, I think it is a reality that like you can get so caught up in manufacturing this life. And I think that that's so, like, if you don't have the right people in your corner, like, it's easy to get trapped in it.
Mm-hmm. And especially with like weddings or big events like this, when people see like what it should be and like how grand weddings have gotten now, it's almost like,
yeah,
you don't see just normal freaking weddings these days, like literally at all. Like, I don't know the last time I saw like an under 25K wedding that like wasn't an elopement in the mountains.
Yeah, I was gonna say Gabby Windy, but that was an elopement.
Yeah. And she probably still spent 25K.
I hope not.
I mean, maybe not, but I think it actually is kind of expensive to get married, like in Vegas at certain places.
Really?
Like, I don't think it's cheap. Maybe it is. My parents got married in Vegas.
That's so cute.
Your mom and
like
dad
my mom
together?
And my dad. Yes.
Wow.
While my mom I was there too, 4 months long.
That's so cute.
That's cute. Okay.
Do you want me to read the next one? Or do
you? I can read it.
She's like, a little long, Devin. Do you want to?
Might be an unpopular opinion, but I understand when influencers say their job is hard work. I'm an accountant. Did they say that they do understand?
Yes.
Oh, taken aback. I'm an accountant and my job is quite boring. I often have to work 60 hours a week and wouldn't say I enjoy it. The idea of throwing up pictures and videos into social media and being paid millions of dollars for it sounds fantastic. Millions of dollars where?
Yeah, no.
Yet I haven't even tried it. Influencing is one of the only jobs that anyone can apply for. I bet if you just had to start filing taxes for oh my God. I bet if you just had to start filing taxes for people in order to become an accountant, we would have a lot more people pursuing accounting. Yet in theory, any of us can just start posting videos and become an influencer. And we're not. I'm 38 and I love TikTok, but I would have no idea how to post one, let alone edit one. I barely want to speak to anyone in public, let alone show up every day and talk to people with a positive attitude. I've cried before hearing a stranger on the street saying something mean to me. I could not deal with hundreds of mean comments every day. Of course, there are so many different kinds of influencers with varying talent levels, but overall, I'm just over the judgment. Follow who makes you happy and unfollow the influencers that annoy you. And if you think you can do it better, then do it. That's a good point that like literally anybody can do it, but everybody isn't doing it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think that, that shows a lot. Because even just like
it's really hard. And that's like as somebody who like hasn't posted like I was posting really consistently, and then I just have chosen not to as of recently. Not as of recently, but just like over the last year or so. And it's one of those things that I question, like, okay, if I want to come back, like, what does that look like? And like, how do I want to show up, and what does my content look like, kind of thing? Because it is a lot of work, and it's a lot of like mental energy, as well as like just like everyday stuff. And I think I mean, like, it's whatever like you want to choose is hard. Like, some people are like, this is hard work, but I like it. But I think it's just one of those things where it's a lot more difficult than people.
Or it's more like a technical skill, almost, in a sense. Like, it's not hard. Like, I'd rather do influencing than like go be a garbage man, per se. That's harder to take out the trash. But like, in a lot of circumstances, like if I edit something, and I'm not even like a great editor, it's not like I'm like doing all of these integrate editing things, but a lot of people like in my family and stuff will be like, oh my god, how did you do, like they act like it's like the craziest editing form, like just because they haven't ever done that or haven't ever experienced it. So it's like, it is, you can learn the skills, but they are still skills.
100%.
I think you have to have a certain personality type for it, because you have to like want to do it, and you just have to know, like, I don't know, figuring out editing, it wasn't hard for me, but for some people it is so hard. Like, I just instinctively can do it.
Which, like, for accounting, like, some people instinctively are really good at math. Like, I'm not good at math. That doesn't come instinctually to me.
I also think too, when it comes to like you're talking about with editing, like if you look at it's just like, how much how much practice are you willing to put in? Because your editing from like 2 to 3 years ago is so wildly different than like your content now. And I think there's so much, like, even like Devon, I think just about like all of your editing, because like even your OG vlogs are still so intricate, but like even the different styles of shots that you do now versus you did like last year, and how you flow things together, or like your voiceovers and like how you tell stories. Like, there's just so many different things that like you've put in the practice and the time, and you enjoy putting in the practice and the time and trying different things. And it's also just about like you talked about like evolving in different things too, where like you've tested out different ways to like edit vlogs and like trying different like things on the screen. And like, I don't know, I just think it does take a lot of like not willpower, but just like intentionality of, you want to get better, you want to try different things, and you want to stay like up to date on things too.
Yeah, for sure.
That's very interesting. I've never really heard anyone have that take before, I don't think. That's why I wanted to include it, because I was like, oh, this is like the opposite of what people normally say.
I know, I was like, did I read that right? Yeah, it is true. Like, okay, anyone can do it, why aren't you? If it's so easy, why aren't you doing it then? Like, and then they'd be like, because I'm not a narcissist.
Yeah, no, probably that is what they'd say.
Then stop watching content. Like, I hate when people complain about influencers being paid or whatever, but they're literally on the app consuming content. Like, you just expect people not to get paid. If people aren't getting paid for it, then it's going to be shitty content, and you're not going to want to watch it anyway. So it's like,
did you guys see that guy that like got famous on TikTok because he would document specifically like his 9 to 5 and would be like showing like, this is me leaving on my lunch break, and made it seem really like mundane, like kind of like sad music behind it almost, like showing his working a 9 to 5, and people were really relating to it, obviously, and like, oh, this is super cool that he's sharing all of this and showing what it's like to work like this. But he just quit his job because he's now making money, and now everyone is extremely mad at him in his comments. Everyone's like, he'll be back, he's losing followers already, like look at his engagement so low now, like he'll be back to his 9 to 5 by next week probably. Like, all of his comments are like that, and it's just so crazy.
Who is
like,
it?
I don't know his name.
I want to find it.
I forget.
That's what's annoying though, is he could continue making that exact same content, and it could be like all faked or whatever, but it still could be evoking the same feeling and relatability. Like, I don't understand why people need to. They need their content creation to be 100% genuine, or they're mad about it.
His name is Hubs.life.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I don't like him, but that's just because I feel like he copied me.
I was gonna say, is that the guy that we thought copied you?
Yeah, and,
Okay,
and it
that's
pissed
so
me
funny.
off because like he has like a million followers or something. It's like just because he's a man,
Yeah, he is 928.
he's doing so much better than me, and he just started creating content. That's kind of I think it's funny that he's getting that hate.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he's like one of the people who always said like, I'll never quit my job, guys. Like, I need to have a 9 to 5.
Well, like it's kind of like corporate Natalie. She doesn't still have a corporate job, right? But she does all these sketches and like relatable things.
Oh my god!
She's
Wait,
still
I did
in
not
her niche
think about
doing the
her.
same content still.
Yeah.
I honestly thought she still had a job.
She
I don't
like
think she does.
I think she focuses a lot on like her business structure. Like she does a
Yeah,
lot
so
of
she does it based
consulting.
around
She does a lot of
business.
speaking things. She does a lot of like
But she does
stuff
not have
in
a corporate
addition
job.
to no, she doesn't have like a corporate 9 to 5. But
That is interesting with this guy, though. Like, you bring up a great point. Like, would it be better if he just fully faked it? Because he could totally do that. He could literally get in his car and act like he's taking.
Well, he
his
doesn't have
drive
to
from
be a
his lunch break.
liar.
But
He
then
doesn't have
that's
to
like-
No,
lie
but that's what
about
I
it, but
mean.
he
Like,
could
would people
still-
prefer that? Like, him lying in a sense because they're getting what they want rather than.
Probably because people are dumb.
But it's so interesting that like why does he need to have a 9 to 5 to be like, because then he's just like faking a whole life and then he's like not relatable because he's fake. So then it's like this whole cyclical thing. But you're like, but that's where I think sometimes people get into like a character where like they don't actually share their life. And then when something like happens good to them, like their followers don't give a fuck because you're like, wait, go back to your character. Like, why aren't you like playing the person I like watching?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
so true. Go back to your
Versus-
character.
Yeah.
It's like when some people will like message me or comment and be like, what's going to happen when you get in a relationship? It's like, then my content will change. But I'm
also,
still
like,
an
your life will
introvert.
still
I'm
be the
still
same,
myself.
like,
yeah,
yeah.
like then I'll share, my content will evolve to share like
introverts
the
in
struggles
literally-
with being in a relationship. Yeah.
But
like,
it's literally the same. Like, you'll show a cooking video, you're still making the same amount of food, probably even. Like, you're
Yeah.
just giving half to somebody else. Like, it would
Yeah.
literally be the exact same.
yeah.
I can't wait for
But
the
yeah, I'm
soft
sure people will
lunch
be
and-
mad at you. Oh my god. And then
Coming
people who
soon.
missed it, and they'll be like, "You
The
were in a
second
relationship all along.
The whole
You've been
time
lying.
when people are like, who's filming
You were
you?"
married. What if you were
They think they
secretly
caught
married?
me. They're like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, you're alone. Who's filming then? Huh? Like my
That's so funny.
boyfriend, my husband, actually, and my 3 children.
My husband and my 3 children.
My 5-year-old actually filmed me today.
All right.
That's
well,
really funny. I need to go stalk that guy though, because
yeah, go look at his comments. It's very funny. Hub.life. But thanks so much for listening to our podcast. If you want bonus content, make sure you go subscribe to us at patreon.com/sogladwerefriends. We also made a Google number so you can call us and ask for advice. And we really need you to leave some calls so we can answer your advice. So that number is 818-839-1884. 818
391884.
Great. Ideally, that would be so cool if we could do one in person. Probably won't
Yes.
happen, but that would be
Well,
great.
we should put out a specific like call to action, like send us a message about blah blah blah.
A specific
Because if
thing.
we're just like,
Maybe that was
just
helpful.
call us, people are gonna be like, okay.
What
I
about their
don't know
dating
what-
stories? Do dating stories for submissions. Tell us your
Oh
dating
yes,
stories.
and we can
Okay,
mix
yeah.
them in.
Tell us any
We can do
dating
a mix
stories
of,
if you
like-
need advice on something dating wise, friendship wise, family wise,
Dating
anything
apps.
interesting. Something your friend's going through maybe that you need advice on and it's not you. Give us your friend's
Just
business.
expose
What's
your
the-
friends.
What's the girl that sent an amazing story? Was that a dating story, right? With the mother-in-law? Or the last story that
A
we were all
mother-in-law
like,
story?
we like your stories. Please
Oh, the
send us."
private jet. The family's now private jet
Oh.
rich.
No, it was
No,
like a
it was like a
longer one.
long story.
Oh, I want to know about
Wait,
the
what was it
private jet.
again? I'm trying to remember
my
the
God, I
details
can't
of it. It was
remember.
like, oh, it was she. They used to like go to the movies together, and she met like he looked completely different, and then he was like,
Oh,
we actually know
yeah.
each other
Oh my God, yes.
We need you to call in and tell us another story.
Yes,
Movie
please. And
theater.
it is all anonymous. Like, we don't know your guys' voices. Like, we won't know who you are.
Yeah.
So feel free. Yeah, and make sure you're following us everywhere. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you want to watch the podcast. And we will see you next week. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, see you next Tuesday. I'm gonna start saying that again.